as individuals, you have great individual black men, but as a collective,
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. My brother, I pray that you and your family are well. Allahumma ameen. I would like to add on to what you said regarding Africans not having a backbone. And when you say, or when we say Africans not having a backbone, when we say Africans specifically, we mean African men, because they are the protectors and the defenders of the community, of the nation. The African nation, meaning Africans in totality, no matter what country you're from, as long as you're from the continent and you're also from the diaspora, even if you don't believe that you're African. I'm in America, so you'll have a lot of people from the African diaspora who believe that they're not Africans, but that's not the point of this discussion. But why is this the case? Why is it that when you meet an African man from the diaspora, whether he be from the continent or not, if you meet an individual African man, you find that this person has good judgment, has good thinking, rational, alhamdulillah. But then as a collective, when they come together, they lack good judgment. They lack intellect. They're like cows or sheeps. And I thought about this for a while. Alhamdulillah. I didn't think about it from this or my thinking of this problem was not preceded by this question that you asked, but it was preceded by my own thoughts, alhamdulillah. But the conclusion is the same, the answer is the same, and it is that the African education system is deficient. Our education is deficient. And I want to define my terms so I can be precise, so that people can know, what does African education mean? Does it mean mathematics? Because everyone does mathematics. It's the same mathematics. Does it mean reading and writing? Well, everyone can read and write. It's the same reading of letters, whatever language you speak or read in or write in. But African education is the problems, the harms, the dangers, and the benefits to the African nation, right? The things that are harmful to the African nation, knowing what is harmful to the African people and knowing what is beneficial to the African people. That is African education, right? And once you know what is harmful for the African people, then the next step would be to acquire knowledge, acquire education on the different ways to avoid what is harmful for the African people. And once you find out what is beneficial, the next step is to acquire and attain and apply the means and the ways to attaining what is beneficial for the African people. And this can only be done by Africans. Like, this education can only be spread and brought about and taught by Africans to other Africans, meaning by Africans to their children. This can only be had or done by Africans controlling their own education and educating the next generation in a systematic way, or a systemic way. Systemic is the right word. In a systemic way. And Africans having a system of education to educate their own system, educate their own children, not relying upon the American system, not relying upon the French system, not relying upon whatever other system, the colonizers' system. And in this case, I'm not saying that they're colonizers, but even the Chinese system. But perhaps the Chinese system is better than their system, than the colonizers' system. That is the issue. Individually, we can think for ourselves, but collectively, we've been brought up being taught how to think, what to think, by outsiders, by colonizers. So now when those same colonizers come with weapons, come with food and money and ease, then of course we're going to follow them like sheeps and cows. And that is the issue. And sadly, because of the psyop, because of the brainwashing, when Africans come up and say, let me educate my African people, the Africans themselves will throw stones at this African leader, this African teacher. That is the problem. That is the problem. Right? Alhamdulillah. So until we have control of our own education system, that doesn't mean that we have actual schools or institutions. That could just mean that we are a village, we are a community where we come up with a way to educate our own children in our own homes, right? To combat all the brainwashing that is done at school, to assess the problems that are needed within our community, and to teach our children about the problems that we see and hear about in our community, and the solutions, and how and what they can learn at school, or what they can learn at school, or even at home, or from their experiences, in order to find the solutions to the problems in our community. That is when we will grow as a people and evolve intellectually, psychologically, spiritually. But as long as that does not happen, this will continue to happen. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. But thank you for your take. Alhamdulillah. And I also want to say one more thing, or add one more thing. And that is that I don't know much about the Sudanese issue. I'm still researching. That's why I haven't spoken a lot. I'm going to make a video today. It won't have a lot of substance, but it's better to say something than to say nothing, right? And I'm still doing my research, as I said. But one thing that I notice Africans saying is that no one is speaking about this issue. When I say no one is speaking about this issue, they're referring to non-Africans. My thing is, I don't care. It's my problem. It's my household. If other people don't care about my house, I care about my house. Now, of course, it is better to have support. It is better to have allies, of course. However, for me, my thinking is it takes too much time to cry out to people who perhaps don't even care about me. People perhaps who don't even care about my house. So therefore, I will do everything within my power by any means necessary to ensure that my house stays clean. If it gets dirty, then I'll clean it up myself. Alhamdulillah. That is the mentality that we need to have. We need to clean up our own house. Whether you help us or you don't help us. Whether you speak up for us or you remain silent towards our struggles. I don't care. Alhamdulillah. I do what is best for me. You will do whatever you will do. As long as you're not standing in my way, being an obstacle, then I will do what is best for me. And if you're going to be an obstacle for myself, to ensure that my children are safe and my women are protected, I will make sure, and I will definitely apply any means necessary to ensure that you are no longer an obstacle. That is the mentality that we Africans have to have. Of course, we want people to speak out for us. Speak out against the evil Arabian forces and the evil European forces, of course. But if they do not, is it wise to cry? Is it wise to beg? Is it their problem? Is it a harm affecting them? It's a harm affecting us. So now we come together, those who are like-minded, rational, good, righteous, we come together and we strategize, plan, how can we better this situation? How can we help our own people? Alhamdulillah. But to beg other people to support us, or to put up a camera and cry, that literally some people cry, men crying, because a non-African man is not protecting his grandmother, his grandfather, his women, his children. I cannot do that. I will not do that. Just don't stand in my way. But if I have to apply any means necessary to protect my people, don't be an obstacle against me. Alhamdulillah. You cannot blame me. I cannot be blamed. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So this is the mentality that we need to have. Our men need to have.